views of first lovers just like you and I about what they thought of a sermon preached by our pastor, prophet and evangelist Bishop Dag Heward-Mills. Stay tuned.
My pastor preached today. I learned that there are men who only care for themselves. I have learned to care for others and not only concentrate on myself. I also learned that there are men like trees without fruit. I've learned to be a fruit-bearing Christian and not just be someone who just comes to church and go home. Thank you.
My pastor preached today, and I was remembered actually in Galatians 6:7 that God is not mocked, and he kind of shed more light on what it means to mock God. Not in the literal sense of laughing at God, but whenever we think sometimes that we are being slick or we are being sly with God, it's important to remember that we can't get away, and we will not get away with anything that we do with the intention of mocking or tricking God. So that kind of stuck with me, and that's what I'm taking home today. Thank you.
My pastor preached today. What I learned from the preaching today is that there are certain things that can take us away from church. And he gave us 10 points. What really struck me was that people who care for themselves alone, who do not care for other people, are likely to be separated from church. And the people who do not bear fruit are likely to separate from church. So I have decided to become a shepherd, to care for people other than myself, and also to bear more fruit for God. Thank you.
My pastor preached today, and I learned about selection and deselection, and about how people with great potential in the church are often targets for the enemy. I learned that some of the things that can make you be selected and deselected are things like the error of Balaam, which is the love of money, or using money as an excuse in the church for anything. Thank you.
And today, my biggest takeaway from the service was what my pastor said about the fact that God cannot be mocked. I realized that there are so many times that I actually tried to do things that I said I was going to do, but I didn't end up doing because I thought I was lying to someone. Maybe I was lying to my pastors or something, but I realized that God cannot be mocked in anything. I realized that I can mock my pastors or something, say I'm going to do something, but I don't do it. Say I'm coming to church, but I give them maybe an excuse that maybe because of the rain, because I had something to do. And I realized that for some reason I could actually say things that were not true to them, but I couldn't say the same thing to God, because regardless of whatever happens, God cannot be mocked. That was my greatest takeaway from today's message.
My pastor preached today, and I learned that the devil is really hunting for my life, and he wants to make me deselect me from the will of God and deselect me from what God has called me to do. And he gave a scripture about the dragon at where babies are born, trying to steal the baby and trying to destroy a great destiny. And he gave 10 things that the devil uses to deselect a person from the will of God. And it was just a powerful message. I really learned that I should take away hidden reefs in my life, things that are destroying my life, that are making me unable to reach that which God has for me. So I was really so blessed today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of My Pastor Preached Today. To watch the message that has been discussed in full, be sure to search for Dag Heward-Mills Evangelist on YouTube, or alternatively, you can listen to the message by searching for Dag Heward-Mills on the podcast app if you're an Apple device user, or searching on Podcast Addict if you use an Android device. God bless you, and thank you for watching.